The average condo price in Kelowna is down $40,000 from this time last year, which is a decline of almost 8%. Is this the market crash that some buyers have been hoping for? And what about the price of a single family home? Is it down too? In this month's market update, we'll dive into the Kelowna real estate market report and see what's going on with the local market. Some of the numbers might surprise you. I'm Tyrell Boake, a realtor in Kelowna, and on this channel, I help you navigate the real estate market and provide you with useful information so you can make informed decisions that make sense for you. If you like to keep up on what's going on in the local market, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. If you've watched my market updates before, you know that I like to follow the benchmark price as it's a more accurate representation of trends that are going on in the market, whereas the average price can sometimes be skewed by one or two larger transactions in any given period. But at the same time, we can't always ignore what the average price is doing because sometimes it gives us some good insights. Later in this video, we'll compare the benchmark and average prices of the condo market so that we can see what's really going on there. But for now, let's take a look at what the single-family home and townhome markets are doing first. Starting with the number of sales, we can see that the sales volume in 2024 is still considerably lower than the pace that we set in 2023. But we have to remember that the Bank of Canada had 2 rate increases in June and July of last year, which really cooled down the sales volume in the local real estate market. So that leaves me wondering, is the trend that we're on going to continue if there's a Bank of Canada rate decrease in June or July? There's a possibility that a decrease in either of those months will increase buyer confidence in the market and the sales volume could start to go up again, certainly surpassing what we did last year. But if we look at the inventory, it has grown considerably from this same time last year. As a matter of fact, it's grown by 52%. Last May, we had somewhere around 2,600 active listings in the local market, and this May, we were over 4,000 available listings. If we look at the benchmark price of a single-family detached home, it came in at $1,015,000 in May, which is up 0.5% from the month before. Though that price was up over the previous month, you can see that it's down 3.8% year over year, where last May that price was $1,055,000, whereas the benchmark price now is $1,015,000. If we look at the benchmark price graph over the last 18 months, you can see in February 2023, the price was just under $1 million. It grew through the first half of 2023 to a peak in August. Then it dipped down all the way until December, where it hit a new low. Over the last few months, we've seen a steady increase of the benchmark price to where we are today. If we look further back and take a look at what has happened over the last 5 years, you can see in May of 2019, the benchmark price was $691,000. There were a couple of peaks in February 2022, in the middle of 2023, and now the price is settled at just over $1 million in May of 2024. Taking a look at the townhome market, we can see that the benchmark price is $724,000 in May, which is down 1.2% month over month. And if we take that out over the year-over-year mark, you can see that the townhome prices are down 5.3%. Looking at the benchmark price graph, you can definitely see there's been some volatility in the townhome market. And over the last year and a half or so, there's been a lot of changes, but the price is relatively the same as it was in January 2023. If we go back over the last 5 years, you can see that in general, townhome prices have grown, like the rest of the market, from a price of $533,000 in May 2019 to a price of $724,000 in May 2024. There's been a lot of volatility in the last 2 years in this market, but in general, the price is up from what it was 5 years ago. Now, as I promised earlier, we're going to have a look at the average price of a condo because there's been quite a bit of changes lately, and I want to take a broader look at what's going on in the condo market so we have a good idea what prices have been doing and maybe where they're headed. If you look at the average price of a condo, in May 2023, it was $524,000. Last month, it came in at $483,000, which is a $41,000 decrease year over year. That number was quite drastic if we look month over month as well, where it's down $27,000 from where it was 1 month ago. However, if we take a look at what the average price has been doing over the last 6 months, there were 2 peaks there, but you can see in general that the price has been relatively flat over the last 6 months. So on the surface, it looks like that price has dropped $40,000 from a year ago, which it has, But a year ago, that was the peak of the most recent market. And as you can see from the average price graph, the price over the last 6 months has been relatively flat. And I think there's been some normalcy in that segment of the market. If we look at the benchmark price of a condo, it kind of tells a little bit different story. The benchmark price of a condo in May was $507,000, which is 1% increase from April of $502,000. But if we take that out over a year, it is down 2.3% in the benchmark price. If we look at the benchmark price graph going back to January 2023, you can see that there's been a lot of volatility in the price of a condo in the Kelowna market, but over the last 3 months, it's been trending upward. And if we look back even further over 5 years, you can see the benchmark price of a condo in 2019 was $353,000, and that price has grown to $507,000 in 2024. Have condo prices collapsed? They're certainly down $40,000 from where they were at this time last year, which is a significant decrease, but we have to remember that that was the most recent peak of the market. There was some softening through last year, but if you look over the last 6 months, those prices have been relatively flat on average. Do I think that there's more room for these prices to come down a little bit? I do. There's about 2,000 units of pre-construction condos being built in Kelowna right now, and once those hit the market, it should put a little bit more downward pressure on prices. And adding to that some investors are selling their condos because they can no longer short-term rent them in the city of Kelowna should bring a little bit more inventory. But we'll have to wait and see over the next few months if there's still more downward pressure on prices or what they do. Lastly, we should look at the average days to sell. A single-family home is taking on average 46 days to sell, which is about the same as it was the month before. The average time it's taking to sell a townhome is down slightly to 46 days, and it's taking about 51 days to sell a condo on average, which is the same as the month before. And on average, single-family homes are selling for 97% of the list price. Lastly, we should look at the months of inventory because it gives us an indication of where the market's headed. In the single-family homes, we're still in a buyer's market, which is why I think we're not seeing a lot of upward pressure on prices, but prices aren't coming down that much yet either. In the townhomes, we have a balanced market, which should keep prices fairly stable. And in the condo market, we see the inventory balancing as well. The Kelowna real estate market is stable for now, with a nearly balanced market in 2 out of 3 asset classes. Inventory has grown dramatically since this time last year, but it hasn't had significant downward pressure on prices yet. If and when the Bank of Canada reduces its overnight rate, consumer confidence in the market is going to return, and some of the buyers that have been sitting on the sidelines are going to come back into the market, and that could chew up that excess inventory rather quickly. How quickly? I guess we'll have to wait and see. For now, there's a window of opportunity for buyers with more inventory than we had even just a few months ago and stable prices. If you have any comments about the local real estate market, leave them down below, or if you'd like to book a call with me to talk about real estate, hit the first link in the description to book a call at a time that works best for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.